Hey everyone, the $1,400 stimulus check question and answer series, part 4. We'll be focusing on how to update your deposit account so you can get your $1,400 stimulus check as quickly as possible once it has been approved. Let's get right into it. Thank you to all of you leaving the questions and comments down below. I really do appreciate it. Because of you, we have started this series, the question and answer series, where I am pulling questions right out of the comments section and I'm answering them for you in these dedicated videos. So, like I said, this one is dedicated to helping you update your deposit information so that it is all updated and the IRS can get that information and send you your $1,400 stimulus check as quickly as possible once it has been approved. Let's get right into this. All right, let's first start with Social Security, SSI, VA, and RRB. So if you're any of these beneficiaries that receives a monthly benefit or a monthly stipend from any of these programs, Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, supplemental security income, VA, or RRB benefits, if you're receiving any of these benefits on a monthly basis, you should automatically receive your payment in the same method in which you receive your monthly benefits. Now, when I say payment, I mean the $1,400 stimulus check. Now, this is not new information, right? We know this, right? We should be getting the payment in the same method. However, the same holds true for the $1,400 stimulus check. As soon as it's approved, the Social Security Administration or any agency that has your information should be supplying that information to the IRS so that they can issue your $1,400 stimulus check. And again, it'll go to whatever account you have on file with that agency, Social Security, for example. Whatever that account is, it should automatically go to that. Now, I know that hasn't been the case for some people in the past with the previous 2 stimulus checks. Maybe some of you have a direct deposit, like a bank account on file, and for some reason, you received a paper check or prepaid debit card in the mail. We don't know why this is happening, but for the most part, for the majority of people receiving these monthly benefits, you should automatically receive your payment, the $1,400, into your account. Now, if you want to update that account, maybe you got a new bank account. Let me give you a quick example of how you can update this information. Or maybe you're somebody who typically receives your Social Security check as a paper check in your mailbox each month, and you decided, hey, I want to open up a bank account and get my payment much more quickly because an electronic payment is significantly faster than waiting around for a paper check to arrive 3 or 4 weeks after it has been issued and approved. Well, if you're one of these people or you just want to update your banking information, I can give you a quick example. Okay, so let's say you opened a new bank account and you want to update that new banking information with the Social Security Administration. How you would do that is simply, you can actually call them. You can call the 1-800 number. You can connect with an agent, and you can simply give them the new banking information. So how you can do this is, I'll give you the 1-800 number. Here it is, 1-800-772-1213. That'll connect you directly with Social Security. Now, full disclaimer, be prepared to wait on hold for anywhere between, 15 minutes and 2 or 3 hours. Depending on the day and time, there are typically a long hold times. So yeah, call that number, connect with an agent. They're going to want to know the banking information, your name, probably the routing number, the account number, all of this information, and then you'll automatically start receiving your Social Security benefits in that account. When the $1,400 stimulus check is approved, bang, there you go. It should hit your account right away with no further action. Now, if you already have this information on file, again, no further action should be needed. You should automatically receive your payment. This has been the guidance from the IRS from day one, way back pretty much a year ago when we started talking about the first $1,200 stimulus check. So I hope that makes it very clear for all of you receiving those monthly benefits from any of those programs. All right. Let's talk about filing a 2020 tax return. For those of you who have already filed a 2020 tax return, or you are thinking about filing a 2020 tax return, let's talk about this. If you have already filed a 2020 tax return, or you're getting ready to file it, I really hope that you have entered in your direct deposit information onto your tax return. So if you already filed, I hope you entered that information in, the routing number, the bank account number, and then what happens is the IRS will have that information on file. They're using the most recent tax return that they have on file to determine your eligibility for the $1,400 stimulus check and where they should send the money once they've determined, hey, you're eligible. Winner, winner, you get $1,400. How can we give it to you? That's what they want to know. And you want to say, hey, send it to me ASAP, right away. Wire it to me. I want it right now. I don't want to wait anymore. Just wire it to me even. That would be actually the fastest way to get it, a wire. That only takes about a few minutes, actually. 5, 10, 15 minutes maybe to get a wire. Anyway, sorry, I got off track there. Wiring is not an option, by the way, from the IRS. But anyway, unless you're sending them money. See how that works? Anyway, all right, so if you file your tax return, again, hopefully you have that direct deposit information on there. If you didn't, I'll get into that in just a second. However, if you're thinking about filing a 2020 tax return, of course, fill out all of your information, and then when you do, make sure that you're entering in a bank account on there so that, once again, the IRS will have your information and they can issue your $1,400 stimulus check right away. It's going to want to know the banking information, the routing number, the account number, all of that. Just make sure you enter it in accurately. Double check everything, because if it's wrong and they can't get you the money, guess what happens? That leads us to the next point, which is paper checks. Nobody wants a paper check. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you want a paper check, but I hope you're a very patient person, because paper checks are the absolute slowest way to get a payment. As many of you have unfortunately realized and recognized over the last few weeks here, since early January, when the $600 stimulus check was approved in late 2020, many people were getting them very quickly as direct deposits into bank accounts. However, for those of you who are still waiting, or who were waiting for paper checks or prepaid debit cards, you were in many cases waiting 3 or 4 weeks. And in some cases, here we are approaching the end of February, and some of you, unfortunately, are still waiting for paper checks or prepaid debit cards. So if you want that, that's totally fine. Total personal preference if you want to have a paper check or prepaid debit card. Like I said, I just really hope that you are a very patient person when it comes to waiting for this. So those are some of the ways that you can update your information. Now, what are some of the other ways? Well, let's say you have a Direct Express card. That's totally fine too. If you're receiving your Social Security benefits there, maybe your SSI benefits, maybe VA, or any benefits on there, like government benefits, I should say. If you're receiving your benefits there, again, you should automatically receive your stimulus check, the $1,400, onto that card with no problem. So I hope that helps you out. If none of these methods are updated, as in if you haven't updated them or the IRS does not have some type of electronic payment method on file for you, whether it's through the Social Security Administration, VA, RRB, from SSI. Well, SSI is administered by the Social Security Administration, so it would be the same thing. Or through a tax return from either 2020, 2019, or the last tax return that you filed. Then the last ditch effort that they will have to send you your payment would be through the paper check through the mail. Now, let's think of this too. We don't have confirmation on this, but this is just me speculating something that could be coming here in the coming weeks or months. And that could be, remember back in 2020, they opened up the non-filer tool for all the people who typically do not file a tax return that did not receive their stimulus checks? Well, they opened up this non-filer tool for you to enter in all of your information, and then they could issue your payment. Well, as of this recording, the non-filer tool is not open. It's not an option right now. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see an announcement out of the IRS at some point over the coming weeks, or probably a couple months, realistically. Not weeks, but I would say probably few months here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them reopen that tool once again, because they'll be in the same predicament they were in 2020. They've issued a lot of payments. Meanwhile, there's still a large population, millions upon millions of people who have not received the check, and they'll have to say, what can we do to get the money to these people? And they'll say, okay, let's reopen let's reopen the non-filer tool for all of these people to enter in your information. So again, it's not open yet, but I'm anticipating it probably will open at some point. If that's the case, then if you're a non-filer, you could go in there and you could enter in your information for yourself and your dependent so that you could get the payment, whether it would be into a bank account as a direct deposit or as a paper check or prepaid debit card at that time. Again, I'll continue watching that to see if they actually open up that tool in the coming months here. But as of right now, basically they're just saying, if you want your money as a direct deposit, you got to file a 2020 tax return. That's basically what they're coming down to now, which is, we're right in the heat of tax season right now. So, that's the quickest and easiest way for them to do it, is just saying, hey, when all else fails, just file a 2020 tax return is basically what they're saying in all these situations. So I hope this helps you out. There's a lot of you that have been leaving comments down below saying, how can I update my payment information? Well, I hope this helps you to give you a few different options where you can update that information, or just recognizing like, hey, you actually don't need to do anything because you should automatically receive your payment with no further action, which was originally the guidance from the IRS basically a year ago. So anyway, I hope this helps you out once again. The series will continue. I'll be back with part 5 at some point here in the next couple of days. There are a lot of questions, which has prompted me to start this series, and I'm having fun with it. And from the comments that I'm getting, it seems like a lot of you are enjoying these dedicated videos to all of your questions. Again, keep the questions coming, and we'll continue to roll on with this series for as long as we need to answer all of your specific questions. Again, thank you to all of you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video if you haven't done so already. Feel free to share the video with your friends, family, and social media. And just continue being an amazing person and being part of this community. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. The Underdog Advocate, signing out. I'll catch you later.